now 1:20 in the morning, the first week, and I've just realised that I said I'd commit to abs twice in the first week and I haven't done it. And this is the last day, the 6th day, so I'm doing it now at 1:20 in the morning before I go to bed. Hashtag commitment. So I've done 100 sit-ups, done plank, and I'm going to do some V-sits. That should do me, 100 of these.
Hi
everybody, Adam here from Beyond Educated. So I thought this week's video would be a more informative video. At the minute you're probably aware that I'm doing a carb cycling diet, or you know that I'm on a cut. And as part of that cut I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. It's carb cycling, so I wanted to explain the mechanics behind it and give you a full day and breakdown of what I'm going to eat when I'm eating my high carb days and my low carb days, explain a bit of the science behind it. I'm not going to go into a massive amount of details, but I'm going to give you some food tips and tricks so that if you want to do this kind of process that you know what to follow, because I'm finding fantastic results and have done since the offset. So it's been nearly 2 weeks now. I've gone down from 78.8 kilograms down to 77.4. That's a 1.4 kilogram lost in 2 weeks. I was a little bit lighter yesterday, but I've put on 0.3. I didn't account for it in terms of water or something like that. So let's get on with breakfast, which is the first meal, to give you some ideas of the kind of stuff that we're going to be eating. Okay, so the first meal of the day is a really important one, and I always have a big breakfast because that keeps me going for the rest of the day, and then on a good start I don't have to worry about getting food into my body for the rest of the day. Scales are absolutely key in terms of if you're carb cycling, measuring your food, measuring your macros. Get a decent pair, don't go for the cheap ones, although a lot of the salter ones have a 15-year warranty. So the first thing is we're going to be making an omelette, or I have them as like fried eggs with 2 whole eggs and 3 egg whites. We'll have a bagel, which aren't too bad. They've got some good carbohydrates in, they're just very high in salt, but at the minute salt isn't a problem for me. Got some blueberries, raspberries and blackberries, all of which I'll have on half a cinnamon bagel with a banana. So lots of fruit, lots of antioxidants in those. The spray that I'm using is the Fry Light spray, so making sure that again the calories are not too intense from the sprays that you're using. I count all these: Frank's Red Hot sauce, some garlic and some peanut butter that's going to go on the bagel with some fruit. Always have a pint of water at least with every single meal, and then I have some multivitamins, or in this case just having some vitamin B complex at the minute. So that's breakfast. Let's get started and make this. Egg yolks. So again, what I do here, I don't know how well you can see that, but I just crack 2 whole eggs in here, and just, it's a bit of a pain. I do have some what's called 2-chick egg white stuff from Sainsbury's here in the UK, and sometimes I use the 2 chicks egg whites. It's just a bit more convenient, but I find it a bit more expensive. This can be a bit of a pain, but you know, once you've done it, it's not too bad. Just mess everywhere. Now, one of the important things when you're measuring your food is that you have to take everything into account. So I like to, although I'm 10 weeks out from my shoot, I like to keep things really strict, or as strict as I can. I'll tighten things up as I get closer to the time, but in reality I make sure that I measure everything and keep it as strict as possible. So the banana is 130 grams, so I have half of that now, and I'll cut the other half up so that I can have it on the bagel. So the way I like to do this is I press tear, it goes to 0, and then I just take out the required amount and it gives me the minus figure. It's just easier to do it that way. 24 grams of blackberries. Get rid of that now. So over here on the hob, I like to use between 11 and 15 sprays depending on the pan coverage. 12 sprays, that should be sufficient. Just one more around there. 13 sprays, 1 calorie per spray, and you can count that, but there's obviously fats within this, so per spray, only very little, but there's still calories in there, so towards the end of your diet, if you're being super strict, again, you need to be counting things like this. So over here, I pop these in and try and time it so that the egg whites are all done around the same time as the bagels. I don't actually have any spread or butter at this time, but normally I just put a small layer on it so they're not as dry. One of the things I will say at the minute is that I've completely cut out milk and trying to reduce sugars, so as I get closer to the end of my diet, I'll be cutting out the peanut butter because that's got sugars in, and just be aware of the amount of sugar intake. Fruit is good, don't worry too much about the sugars you're getting from that, but avoid juices, cranberry, orange juice and things like that, because that's just purified forms of sugar that peak your blood sugar and insulin levels. So get the pan to a pretty decent temperature and then lower the heat for your eggs. Little trick here for the eggs to kind of get them poached, I guess, a little bit is let it just simmer a little bit, pop over a pan lid, and then all the steam comes up through the pan and steams the whole egg, so you don't have to flip them and you get nice yolks. At this point in the morning, I always pull out some chicken. I've got around 350 grams of chicken breast there. I leave it to defrost all day and then have it later on. One of the things I like to do here is just get a little bit of garlic seasoning. I love garlic, even if it's on my eggs for breakfast. So the eggs are done. I'm going to, perfect timing, I told you, the bagels pop up there. Again, what I tend to do here in terms of measuring is I zero the scales and then take out around 20 grams of peanut butter. So here we have it, guys, meal number one, bagel, 20 grams of peanut butter, some blueberries and blackberries and banana, some additional blueberries, blackberries and bananas in here, some fried eggs with a little bit of fry oil, spray light stuff, and half a bagel, some Frank's Red Hot sauce, vitamin B6 complex, and that's meal number one. So exciting, guys, because today I'm doing a walkthrough of my full day of eating and my supplements have arrived. I've done 2 big orders, one from My Protein, one from Discount Supplements, and the My Protein one I think is going to come later in the week, but this is some of the stuff I've ordered for my cooked. So we have a pre-workout, gold standard pre-workout. Super excited to try that. I've not had a pre-workout for years and years, but I thought it said there. I looked at that and I thought it said banned substances, but it actually said banned substance testing. So I've got that. This came with the protein, some ThermoFusion weight management like supplements. Some of the chocolate fudge brownie carb killer protein bars. Ooh, that's it. That's it. So I have more stuff coming. I've ordered the instant whey high protein reflex stuff, and I've got a load of other stuff from My Protein I'm waiting to arrive. So that's that. So just to summarise, I've got the gold pre-workout, gold standard pre-workout, the carb killer protein bars. I'll put the macros up. I've got the Instant Whey Pro protein, and this is the pro stuff, so this is a bit more expensive, but it's got a great macronutrition balance in terms of helping me get protein in with low carbs, because I get my carbs from other food sources such as potatoes and rice, and sweet potatoes and stuff like that, and the ThermoFusion Reflex. So now I've just been to the supermarket, and one of the best sources of protein that you can find, I think, is tuna. £6 for 4 cans there for the no drain stuff. I can't do it. I'm gonna have to get the cheaper stuff. £6 is just ridiculous when that's on offer for £3.50. Because if you look at tuna, it's pretty much just protein. It's such a great food because even with stuff like this and this, it has carbs, it has sugars in. But if you're just low on protein for the day, then tuna's the way to go. So I've got that. I've got a sweet potato, 320 grams of sweet potato. I'm going to prep that now. So it's quite a big one. Just want to give it a wash. What you have to do with this is really easy. It takes a bit of time to cook, but get your oven going to a really hot temperature, like 220 degrees. Bit of foil down on the tray. That's it. This is quite a big potato. I'm going to weigh this first actually. 340 grams maybe. 374 grams there of potato. This will probably take an hour to bake. At 220. I'll come back and check on it in about 50 minutes. Now we're just going to prepare the tuna, and the way that we're going to do that is we're going to drain it all off, put it in the bowl, mix it in with some mayonnaise, salt and pepper, and that's it. So we don't need to weigh the tuna, but we do need to weigh the mayonnaise. So here I've got my carbohydrates, my fats and my protein. Loads of protein from the tuna, loads of carbohydrates from the sweet potato, and I need some fats in there as well. So mayonnaise is a good port of call. Just realised I've got some chicken and stuff in there from yesterday. Want around 10 grams of this. This isn't the light one either, so it's very heavy in fat. 11 grams per 15 ml serving, so I'm going to have 10 mils of this. Change the unit on the scales to mils. Now a lot of times people don't take things like this into account, but this is really, really high in calories and fat, so you need to be really careful. Okay, so we get the salt, some pepper. Once you've done that, your meal's ready to go. It's in the oven, it's already preparing, and you just cover this up, put it in the fridge so it's nice and cold for by the time you get to the jacket potato, and take it out and put it in. Meal number 2. Now I am slightly hungry now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a protein bar in between, and then I'll put my carbs up for meal number 3. Hey guys, so the jacket potato is ready, or the sweet potato, as you call it. Should come out like this, nice and crispy. Whoo, that's hot! Hot. Remember guys, 1 pint of water with every meal. Look at that, beautiful. Beautiful jacket potato. Then we get the tuna mayonnaise we made earlier. There you have it guys, a sweet potato, 370 grams with around 100 grams of drained tuna. Hello, right, it is 5:45 now. I am off to the gym. These capsules I'm going to take, but it's got caffeine in it, so I don't want to take that now. This dilemma, isn't it, when you have to get the bloody scoop out. Come on, scoop, where are you? Ah, where is my scoop? Chocolate perfection, this one. So I'm going to have 2 scoops of this. So my pre-workout meal is going to be a double scoop of Reflex Whey Protein Chocolate Perfection and 1 pink lady apple. That'll be my carbs, that'll be my protein, and then I'm going to have a pre-workout, and that's me done. So the third and final meal for today is something that I've already prepared, so it's just some chicken and some boiled potatoes, new potatoes. Why are you hiding?
Baby potatoes.
Kim's hiding because she's in her pyjamas. That's it there. 230 grams chicken breast and 150 grams of potatoes. And then I'm going to have some peanut butter later on, and that's my macros for the day.